So Ruben, how do you assess that performance?
Was a good first half. We lack a little bit aggressivity in the near the opponent box, but we control very well the game. We had the ball. We managed to go with the ball step by step during the game, and you feel it in the end of the first half. You hear in the stadium they had a lot of problems to create a situation like us, and then in the second half with the set pieces changed the game, changed the momentum. We try it, but we couldn't do to manage to score.
You've said that this is obviously a process. We're learning bit by bit each game. Do you think the positives in the first half have benefited in the long term?
Yeah, of course. Like the last game. Let's not focus just on the result. Let's focus on the performance. We have to improve a lot, but we have two weeks, and we will have time to work on everything. There's a lot of games, more games than trainings in this moment, but I felt, especially in the first half, we did a good job.
And then let's focus on the positives then. Obviously, it was great to see Lenny Yoro back as well, competitive debut. We've said this about the rotation so many times, but it's so good to see the variety of players and you get to combine different personalities together on the pitch.
It's not that I like to change all the time, but if you see the game, Mason Mount cannot do the full game because we have to be careful in this stage. Harry Maguire has to leave the pitch no matter what. Lenny Yoro, we have to control the time that he play. We did the same with Luke Shaw. We did the same with Ty Malacia. We have to control the time. In this moment, we have to manage a new idea, winning games, and try to maintain all the players fit. So it's a difficult period. But like I said, let's focus on the performance and then think about the next game.
And finally, obviously, despite the result, there is so many things to learn, as you said there. When you do lose, though, do you get more opportunities to learn and get to see how much there is obviously to grow, especially ahead of the next game?
Yeah, you learn all the time. It's not a good thing. It's not a good feeling. It's really hard. But we have to take the positives and the negatives like in every other game. So let's focus on everything we are doing, recover all the players to be fresh on the next game, and you go again full stadium with our fans, and we are going to succeed. We need a little bit of time.
So obviously a disappointing result. What do you make of that performance?
Yeah, as you said, disappointing because you end with 0 points. Yeah, especially disappointed because I think until the first goal it was quite equal, it was quite even. We didn't have many chances, they didn't have many chances. But you see that these set plays, they made a big difference today. I think after this first goal, the momentum changed a little bit. Obviously, I had the feeling before the first goal, the crowd had become also really quiet. In certain moments, we controlled the game and they were always a little bit afraid to concede. But after that first goal, you felt like the momentum changed. They got more confidence. We maybe lacked a little bit of confidence, and yeah, then it's really difficult to play against a good team like Arsenal.
You've just mentioned there, obviously, about the first half of the game. It seemed that in possession, defensively, it's been improving so much. From a defensive point of view, how good has it been? Obviously, those little pieces just building up despite the result.
Yeah, obviously at the moment it's still really tough because you lose. Nobody wants to lose. Nobody in the team wants to lose. So obviously in the beginning now the feeling is really disappointed. But as you mentioned, there were some positives. What you say, the defensive phase, the amount of chance we conceded without the set plays. Also, obviously in the end we play a little bit more offensive, leave a little bit more space, and you got some chances against. But in general, I think that was quite good. But I think offensively we have to and we will improve because obviously it's about the automatismus. I don't know how to say it in English, but to know what everybody is doing. And I think in that way we could have hurt them much more. And what you said, we are still quite early with the new trainer, but there are some positives. But overall, obviously, really disappointed with the 0 points.
What's the feeling like in the squad? I mean, people always say that you learn more in your defeats, and do you think there's a lot more to take away here to obviously help us in the next game?
Yeah, at the moment after a game it's difficult to say. Obviously what I said, I'm really disappointed, especially if you concede goals like this, chances like that. But as you mentioned, we are on the road to improve as a team. I think the manager said it also. Maybe if you do a certain way, we have a bigger chance of getting results right now. But in the future, we stay the same and we won't improve. And this is, I think, the way we are going now. Obviously, it's not perfect yet. We still have to improve a lot. Everybody has to get used to the new system, but you can see that there are certain things that are improving, positives. Everybody's involved also. But in the end, we are Manchester United. We lost again. And yeah, it's easy. It's not good enough. So we know that. We will work hard. We have to improve. And in 2 days or in 3 days is the next game. So that will be a really important one again for us to show again what we learned from this game and get the 3 points.
Yes, a disappointing result here at the Emirates. Luke, what did you make of that performance?
Yeah, obviously the result's hugely disappointing. I think we all know Arsenal are strong from set plays, but to come here and restrict them to a certain extent, there wasn't many clear-cut chances for them, but to concede from 2 set plays is really disappointing, because if you've got to defend set plays when you come to the big clubs, when you come to the teams at the top of the league, and I think that will be a massive disappointment. To defend quite well throughout the game as a team, I thought the shape looked good, but unfortunately that was the undoing at the end. Fantastic delivery from Declan Rice and Saka, and 2 goals from corners, which is not great.
I mean, as we were watching that game, we were discussing it as we were seeing how it was going on. I mean, we spoke about how confident we seemed defensively in possession, but then out of possession it just seemed a little bit clumsy.
Yeah, I mean, it's plain for all to see that there wasn't enough created in the attacking third. We didn't create enough chances. We sort of worked hard. We had sort of a mid-block in the first half, tried to press a bit higher after the goal, but never really found that spark, found the attempts on goal that are going to trouble Arsenal. So I think that will be like a disappointment for the manager.
I mean, we knew how big of a test this was going to be facing Arsenal, as we said pre-match, how informed they are. But do you think this is going to really shape the characters in that changing room tonight?
Yeah, it's a wake-up call, isn't it? It's been a good start for the manager. Obviously, the Ipswich game, they would have wanted to get a win there, but then 2 wins after this. This was the sternest test by some distance to come to the Emirates, and unfortunately, we just couldn't quite get that. I think a draw would have been a good result, but to lose the game 2-0 was disappointing, particularly with the 2 goals coming from set plays.
We did see a very passionate head coach, Ruben Amorim, on the touchline too. He seemed like, obviously, we said it at half-time, little pockets of space he needed to get into, but also as it was getting to the final moments of the game, he was still telling those players to fight for the win. I mean, it shows really the high standards that he's setting in place for this team.
Yeah, and I think he would have come into this game tonight we're not trying to draw the game, but come here and win against a top team. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. You could see his sort of energy, his enthusiasm at the sideline, he's up and down the touchline, sort of directing the players, telling them what he wants from, which I think is always good to see as a fan watching the game, to see that passion on the sideline. But at the end of the day, it's got to turn into results. He's got a couple of good wins, but this was the sternest test, and it's sort of back to the drawing board to a certain extent. But I'm sure with what he's achieved at Sporting, what he's done in the past, he's going to get things right here, and I think he's going to be someone that can really take the club forward.
I mean, it is exciting, as we said, in possession, we seemed quite confident defensively. It just shows now we just need to work on the other areas on the pitch.
Yeah, and I think you've got to get things right defensively first. That's what all top managers do. They get the shape right, they get into positions where they're not going to concede many goals, and then get the attacking side right. I think you would have liked to have seen a little more this evening after sort of 4 goals against Everton at the weekend. You're sort of hoping that carries on, but tonight it wasn't there from a attacking perspective, but loads of work to do. We know we've got fantastically talented players, and it's about getting the right combinations out there to give us the opportunity to make chances and to score goals.
Yeah, well, let's see what has to come next then.